Good morning, rock stars, and welcome to our Sirius virtual quilt show. My name is Holly Ann Knight of String and Story, and it is my job to guide you to quilt with confidence. Y'all, I am so excited to be live with y'all this morning to share your gorgeous quilts. We have spent the summer piecing Sirius, and we've talked about how to quilt Sirius, and today we're going to celebrate the finished quilt tops, and we're going to talk about your next steps to make sure that you can get these quilt tops finished with confidence. If you are here with me live, do say hi in the chat. I am streaming both to YouTube and Facebook this morning. I know that we've got some friends over on Instagram, so if perchance you see a comment from someone on Instagram wondering where we are, there's a link in my stories that they can come over and watch because I want you to be able to see these gorgeous slides. Now, something that I really love about these quilt-alongs is there's a few things, right? There's some of the obvious things like the accountability to be working on a project, but I also love the opportunity to go through with you and break down quilt patterns step by step. Right? When we're making a quilt pattern for the first time, it can feel overwhelming. I think any pattern we make for the first time, it can just feel like a lot of information getting thrown at you at one time. And we were talking about this earlier this week inside of Quilting Rockstar University about how just about every bag I've ever made, I end up making it more than once. And one of the reasons for that is the first time, I don't know what the heck is going on. And the second time, I get to enjoy it. And I feel like when we do these quilt alongs, it helps shorten that a little bit. I love being able to break down all the parts of the pattern into bite-sized bits for y'all and make them together. And of course, answer any questions that y'all have. So I'm excited to celebrate your gorgeous work today. You have worked hard this summer making these quilt tops happen, and your fabric choices are so good. So good morning, Jan. Good morning, Susie. Good morning, Francie and Helen. I am so glad that y'all are here. Jan says, I got mine quilted and did do some stitching in the ditch around the star. A total learning curve and not as easy as it looks, but once washed, it does not look that bad. Jan, I love that. Way to get it done, Rockstar. Are y'all ready to see these gorgeous quilts? Let's jump in. Mine is still at the stage that you saw it at a couple of weeks ago. It's baby sized right now. I'm going to add more blocks and make it throw sized. I went out of the country for 10 days. So we are still getting back in the groove, but y'all did not miss a beat. So welcome to the Sirius Virtual Quilt Show here on August 13th, 2025. Let's celebrate you amazing rock stars. You've been working on all of your piecing skills. You have been celebrating community. You've been cheering and supporting each other. So let's see the fruit of your labor. Presenting your gorgeous work. First up, we have Barbara Whiteside. Barbara said, this is the Ruby Star Carousel Kit from String and Story, quilted edge to edge with a clementine flowers design. I added a border to baby size as it was needed to be longer for the nursery. I love how this border turned out, by the way. This is the perfect little creative touch. I love the way it frames those stars. The big squares was a great idea. So Barbara, this is gorgeous. I love it. I love the big prints and how sparkly they look inside of this quilt. This is from Charlotte Cabello. She says, I took advantage of Holly Ann doing the Peachtree Marathon to buy fabrics from the shop in different colors. Yes, that I usually use in my quilt tops. I'm very happy with how the top came together. Hang on, I got to biggie size this. I want to see this up close. I love these golds and clementines together. And the stars in the background are perfect. Charlotte, beautiful work. Great taste. I love it. Dawn Vandervort said, I was able to use fabric from my stash to complete this quilt. It's on the design wall, not fully assembled yet. Life happened this weekend. That's okay. Life has been happening. I love the way that you use the light and the dark turquoise for these star points. And I love how you arranged them. That turned out really, really nice. And I don't know that I would have thought to arrange them that way, but it really brings the light into the center of the quilt, Dawn. Gorgeous work. I can't wait to see it put together and quilted. This is Debbie Palace. She said, only the top is finished since I was out of town all last week, but it's been fun. I love this dark background. This was something I had a lot of fun with when we were making kits, was thinking about all the different background options. The first time that I pieced Sirius, I chose the colors that are on the cover of the quilt, right? That navy background and lots of lighter and brighter colors for the stars. And I love that effect, but I also love those of you who have changed it up and done something different in the background because it looks so cool. This is Dorothy Bullard. She said, I chose a combination of warm and cool solids and purchased new yardage. I custom quilted on my domestic machine in one continuous line. Dorothy, that's incredible. I love it. Continuous curves are so much fun and they look fabulous in this pattern. What a really awesome way to make use of the piecing. And just by nature of how those squares and stars and everything turn, you get some really cool effects because in some places you can really see the circle of those continuous curves. And in other places it looks, more orange peel shaped, which it's the same shape. It's just amazing how our eye is drawn to different parts of it. This looks gorgeous, Dorothy. Great color choices. Phenomenal. Jan says, I have several hundred fat quarters and I am trying to use what I have. Way to go, Rockstar. You know I support that. The solid light blue, red, and white stars on the left were left over from the Lanterns of Hope quilts along. The other fabric was all fat quarters that I had and decided to go scrappy with the patriotic fat quarters I've collected. This was a fun quilt along. I took free motion quilting, so plan to play with this on my long arm and try my hand at ruler work possibly. I hope to do another one in scrappy Christmas fabric. I'm obsessed with how this turned out. There's so many wonderful prints. I love how scrappy it is. I love the way you played around with it, Jan. This looks so great. I know you were a little nervous when you got started of like, is this going to work? It worked and it looks fabulous. I can't wait to see the Christmas one. I think that's going to be really fun. So keep it up. Keep going with the scrappy vibes. Judy says, I'm doing the 109 square quilt. So with 1,252 pieces, I will be a bit finishing. But here's a section and I love it. Judy, I feel so honored that you would pick one of my patterns to make a giant bed quilt out of. Thank you. And I cannot wait to see it. In the meanwhile, it's looking gorgeous already. Your colors and fabrics look great. I love the texture. It's so sparkly. Huzzah. Kathy says, I got behind and did not get all my blocks finished. So I'm showing my two main blocks with some accent blocks. These look fabulous. I love these Japanese prints and I love the green background. These are so, so, so nice. Absolutely fabulous. Also, I had myself in full screen, and so I did not catch all the comments. Jan has complimented all of you. You've all done fabulously. And she and Francie are popping off about how great your work is. So way to go, everybody. Next up, we have Loretta. Loretta says, this quilt is made from Favorite Flowers by Ruby Star. I love the fat quarter bundle and thought it would be great for the Sirius quilt along. I almost decided not to finish it, hence the block still not being sewn together. I'm not sure I like the background. Too much turmeric. I wish I had a different background fabric. It reminds me of a Halloween colorway, and I'm not a fan. But I've decided to reduce to a small throw and finish it anyway. Hope to quilt it during custom quilting class. Loretta, I know that you said you don't like the turmeric. I love it. I think it is gorgeous. I see where you're concerned about the spooky vibes. But here's what's great about it is this is a fabulous fall quilt without having to be Halloween at all. Because I don't know about you, I love fall colors. I even really like Halloween colors, but I am not a Halloween person, which is deeply ironic because I was born on October 27th. Like everyone's like, Halloween must be your favorite holiday. I hate Halloween, mostly because I'm a weenie, right? So I totally understand being like, this is not what I was aiming for. But let me just tell you, it looks beautiful. It looks like a gorgeous, like September, late summer, early fall quilt. And I'm glad that you're going to finish it. I cannot wait to see how you quilt it. And I'm very curious to know what you choose for binding because I think that purple would be really, really pretty. So I love it, Loretta. I know it's not exactly what you'd pictured, but I think it looks fabulous. And maybe there's a way to lean. Yeah, like Jan says, I see more fall than Halloween. I agree. I think it reads very fall. Very like you've got mail, late fall in New York vibes, right? Window boxes and falling leaves. Yeah. Margarita says, I wanted a quilt I could use on my bed in the spring. I really like the sunny background with the floral centers. This is a large throw on a full-size bed and the overhang is perfect. I will bind it with the floral print. Margarita, this is gorgeous. And once again, I'm so honored when y'all choose to put my quilt patterns on your beds. Like that is so special. And this is such a perfect spring quilt. I love it. And I think that's great timing that you've got lots of time to quilt it, bind it, and then enjoy it in the spring. Yay! Pam Holt says, I've been collecting strawberry fabric and knew this was a great opportunity to use some of it. I've been away from my machine for 2 weeks and trying to catch up, but sending my first completed row. This is darling. And I love the combination of strawberry prints that you have. Like I see some Ruby Star, but there's other strawberries too. Pam, it's gorgeous. That's going to be such a pretty, like yummy quilt when it's all done. Huzzah! Peggy says, this is a baby quilt for my first grandchild. My daughter is having a son in December. Oh my gosh, Peggy. I had already decided to do the quilt along when she and my son-in-law told us they were expecting. So I decided to choose colors from the nursery, which is camping / outdoors / Colorado themed. She knows I'm making the quilt and knows the pattern, but doesn't know the fabric I chose. I'll give it to them at the baby shower in October. That's perfect. And what a fun theme. And this is so perfect to have those. Yeah, this just looks like a very starry night. Baby's gonna go stargazing quilt. Love it, Peggy. Next up is Stephanie. She said, this is my first real quilt. I've done several rag quilts and one jelly roll quilt. This has been challenging but fun. Stephanie, you nailed it. This is a great first real quilt pattern because you learned some good skills, but it's also a lot of repetition. So you have a chance to really practice. And this looks phenomenal. I love your color choices. I love that teal background. I'm so excited for you. And I, especially in just a second, I'm going to be talking about our Tension Without Tension band camp. And I hope you will attend because I want you to quilt this quilt yourself. It is phenomenal. Way to go. So pop the champagne, rock stars. You did an absolutely gorgeous job. I'm obsessed with all your quilts. And I want to make sure that these quilts, not only I know some of you are still assembling just like I am, but I want to make sure that they get quilted as well, which brings me to my invitation for you today. Our free Tension Without Tension band camp is literally tomorrow is the first one. We've got 3 coming up over the next week. And inside this band camp, we're going to talk about what do you need to know, do, and have in order to successfully quilt your own quilt. So I'm going to talk about adjusting your tension for quilting your own quilts. We're going to talk about the supplies that you need. We're going to talk about posture and mindset. And then I will invite you to Quilting Rockstar University, where I will teach you step by step absolutely everything. So Tension Without Tension is the perfect introduction to what it's like to quilt your own quilts. And if you have, even if you've attended this band camp in the past, I hope you will join us. And if you have attended in the past but have not yet taken the Academy courses or joined Quilting Rockstar University, then this is especially for you because we've got a brand new way for you to take my courses that's more accessible and more complete than ever. So Rockstars, absolutely brilliant job. I hope I see you in Tension Without Tension. And I can't wait to see these finished quilts. Way to go, y'all. Does anyone have any last minute questions for me before we wrap up? Because I just blazed through all those beautiful quilts. And I want to make sure that I don't just vanish on you. Looks like everything's successfully shared to Facebook. So glad to see that. Jan and Francie, way to go being in the chat, cheering for everyone. Helen and Susan, I'm so glad you were able to join live as well. I know there are more of you here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the Quilt Along. And I will see all of y'all soon in band camp. Bye for now.